Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 6 of the Pro Play Tour Invitational here in Orlando, Florida. I'm Alex Simo, joined by Mr. Joseph Rothschild, and we've got another good feature match for you coming up. So, we have Kamal Crooks.
Yes.
YCS champion.
He's pretty good at YuGiOh.
I hear he's pretty good at YuGiOh. He's going to be on SPYRAL.
Yes.
I took a look at the top tables right as it was starting, and I believe the top 5 tables were like 8 out of the 10 people were playing SPYRAL.
Yep.
And then you have the 9th person, who was Steven, who we featured in our last match, playing like the anti-SPYRAL Goki deck.
Yep.
And then our 10th player, Mr. Blair Hunter himself, playing Cyber Dragon Orcust.
Now, it's a different Cyber Dragon build than the last one. If you thought the last one with trap cards was a snooze fest, don't worry. This one has some proactive plays.
Yeah, we're not even going to keep you guys waiting anymore. Let's just go ahead and get right into this match because this is one for the ages for sure.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Just go ahead and give them the signal. And they should be good to go.
And they're off.
Now, I'm happy we get this because it's going to demonstrate like Cyber Dragon playing against like meta, right? Because it's not like 2 decks designed to beat the best deck playing against each other in this like weird mishmash of being at the top tables. This is like the deck that's not necessarily designed to beat the best deck, but it's still like that's why you're playing it versus what is the supposed best deck, which is, jury's still out, but the fact that, the top tables are littered with SPYRAL shouldn't really be much of a surprise.
It is the anti-meta versus the meta.
Right. So
tale as old as time. I love that field center, by the way.
So Blair Hunter looks like he's going first, as a matter of fact.
And I don't think he really wants to be going first, for what it's worth. You want to be able to flex into Mega Fleet as a removal spell, but I don't think you're too upset about it either, provided you have the correct amount of disruption in your opener.
The thing is with Cyber Dragon Orcust, actually, you do want to go first, just because it's like, yeah, your Cyber Dragon cards are good at going second, but you can actually assemble some like pretty nasty boards, and it's like not as potent as something as say SPYRAL or some other decks, but comparatively, it's still pretty strong. Now,
so you're the authority on this. What is the fundamental difference between Cyber Dragon Orcust's old builds, which flexed cards like Nightmare Mermaid, and their new builds, which I think Blair is the last person clinging to?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know anyone else, at least personally, who's still playing the Orcust version of Cyber Dragon. I think more people have pivoted to like what YuGiOh is playing, being like the more like trap-heavy variant. The thing is, it's like you still are able to access your Orcust cards. It's not like too difficult. Mermaid just made it free. Like anytime you got stopped by anything, you literally would just link whatever 2 monsters you have into a Mermaid, and you get free Orcust combo. Now it's a little bit more difficult, but it's still like fine. And again, hopefully he gets to demonstrate here that we get to see this. We saw he added a Galaxy Soldier.
Is that a Magician's Souls in hand? That can't be. I must be having a...
If it is, I did not know that he was playing it, so that would be news to me.
No,
that looks like a Cyber Dragon.
Oh, thank
That's
goodness.
the alternate art Cyber Dragon. So we're going to summon Galaxy Soldier here. That's going to trigger its effect to add another copy. Hopefully he has another discard outlet for that.
No, he doesn't, unfortunately, I think we can see. Maybe he has a Searcher?
Potentially. We know he has the Overflow. Oh, Foolish
well,
Burial.
that should be good enough.
Okay, that should be fine.
Wow, that's a pretty foolish burial.
That super rare. So Blair's going to go digging. We're going to dump the Orcust Nightmare.
And I guess we're just playing Orcust
just like
now.
that, you have Orcust combo. Again,
okay.
like,
I see the allure of this deck.
Obviously, like, you would want to be ending on, more than just a regular Orcust combo, but, like, it's still fine. And not to mention, too, you have Cybernetic Overflow to back this up.
Right.
So you not only have whatever Orcust shenanigans Blair's going to end on, you have the Overflow as, like, yet another card that which, funny enough, Kamal is reading. Just as another means to disrupt the opponent and just make it that much more difficult for them to play. So I'm not sure if Blair's playing the Babel or if he's just sticking to Crescendo.
Well, I think we're about to find out.
Yeah, we'll know once as soon as he goes into the Galatea here.
So, obviously, the banning of Harp Horror was a huge hit to Orcust, especially strategies that were only splashing Orcust didn't necessarily devote a lot of main deck space to it. However, you can completely do the exact same combo, provided you send Nightmare, use Nightmare to send Wonder Wand, and then wand back the Orcust Nightmare to get an Orcust on your side of the field.
Yeah, and while Blair's go ahead and comboing off, for those of you joining us for round 6 here, we want to go ahead and let you know the tentative breakdown for what we have of the overall decks. It is 33 Spiral, 14 Geist, 12 Orcust, 8 Pendulum, 5 Lunalite, 4 Block Dragon Burning Abyss, 4 Cyber Dragon, and evidently every other deck is either 3 or less.
And that includes Subterror, Hero, a bunch of decks that are highly played on dueling simulators, but apparently hasn't translated to play rates in paper.
But that doesn't necessarily mean these decks are not viable. We had Steven Bronder on stream earlier playing Dino, and he did lose his last round, but that's the first round he's incurred a loss, and this is round 6.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that Dinosaur could be in the top cut of this event.
So this is a pretty powerful turn 1 board. You know, you have access to Symbol Skeleton in Graveyard, access to IP Masquerena. You've got Cybernetic Overflow set.
Yeah, you've got 3 layers of disruption that you have to play through. And again, it's not like impossible for Spiral to play through it. Tough is a very strong card, being able to play going second. I don't know if you remember the fateful Tough Control back in the day.
Oh,
but,
do I ever.
Yeah.
All right, danger time.
See. So 1 through 6 on the dangers. Looks like it's a 4. It's the Scrap Recycler. So Kamal is on the Scrap Spiral list that has been apparently being popularized. This is the 3rd variant, I believe. There is the Scrap Spiral, there is the Danger Spiral, and there is the Extravagant Spiral, which people like Cody Angeloff were piloting.
Yeah.
So even though there's multiple, even though Spiral is the best deck, there's like some interesting diversity within just that deck alone.
Mm-hmm. Would not want to be in Kamal's position right now.
No, I don't envy his position at all.
Thinking about what he's going to do, I'm telling you, Utopia Double, making a comeback. Normal summon Tough.
No,
Fire it off.
Not happening.
Okay, that's fair. It looks like we do see a Tough in the opener. Okay, let's go
pretty
for
good.
the Nessie.
Want to maximize the chance that you hit those dangers.
Oh, hit a 1-for-1.
Ooh, that's rough.
As choice as it is to miss the danger, I think that's one of the very few cards you just don't want to discard ever.
Mean, it's difficult, though, because it's like, again, it doesn't trigger a danger. You're not going first. I think 1-for-1 definitely loses a lot of potency when you're going second because it's like you're taking a minus. It's difficult. But Kamal's got 2 dangers, so he's got some materials. If you're correct in him having a Tough, that's pretty good. But again, this like the Cybernetic Overflow is a problem.
Oh,
and there's another danger.
Now, I thought they hit these cards.
Ooh, and that die
off
just
the
went
table.
flying. Oh, looks like it was a 3. Hits the Master. That's a good hit.
Okay.
So gets the Tsuchinoko, draws another card. 0 for 3 on the Spiral hits, or excuse me, danger hits.
Pretty good news for Kamal, honestly. Getting the Master Plan in Graveyard is pretty critical to success, but next step is finding a way to get Rescue in the Graveyard of the Master Plan back.
There's
or
other
clearing all of these disruptions.
There's other means. You've got stuff like Big Red, which the deck can play multiple of. You've got Monster Reborn. There's ways. There's additional ways. Interestingly,
it looks like we're shotgunning this now.
Okay.
So that Kamal isn't able to either go to battle phase or make Curious. I'm not exactly sure what he's preempting.
Yeah. So it could have been that Kamal just declared battle phase, and you can only use Masquerade in main phase, so that would force it. So Ding is going to go ahead and send the Mothman to the graveyard. Interesting choice of Mothman.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Mothman is the highest attack, so that makes sense. I always forget Nessie, even though it's a level 7, only
It's
has
only
1,600. Yeah.
And Nightmare Orcust sent for Masquerena a Symbol Skeleton in the draw step.
Another danger. Kamal's
go.
hand is just danger central. All right, let's see what he's got. Hit the 5. It's going to be the far one. Hits the O-Lion.
Wow.
So that's going to also generate a token for Kamal.
This individual has walloped every one of these dangers.
0 for 4 on the danger hits so far.
And it looks like we're thinking about activating something here. This is, of course, another Curious point.
It's also an overflow point, though.
Yeah, let's fire off the Overflow before we have to worry about that card.
Yeah, so it looks like that's what he's going to do. So he's going to banish both the, I think it was the core, and I did not see, was it the Galaxy? Oh, no, I'm sorry. He had the regular Cyber Dragon. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. So regular Cyber Dragon, he's going to pop 2. That just leaves Kamal with a Jackalope and a token.
And we've got one more disruption in the Masquerena. None of the monsters are in attack position, so bluffing battle phase no longer works as an out.
So if anything, the Masquerena can represent like a unicorn, which can just spin something else away. Again, these dangers have always done a good job at just like playing through just different disruptions. But it looks like we're going to link off into a Phoenix here. This is going to force. Well, actually, no. The Skeleton's already been used.
Yeah.
So-
it got back the Dingirsu. I think we might just be losing.
If anything, just
Babel here.
clearing the Babel is fine. But I'm not sure what it's accomplishing if he does. Oh, he looks like he's just going. He's not even using the effect. That makes more sense.
We're just walking in, baby.
Yeah. So we're going to attack into the Masquerena. Masquerena, I believe, is 800.
800, yeah, buffed.
Yes, so 11. Oh, it's buffed by 3, so he actually gets 300 because he sent it with the skeleton. And he had Resort in his hand.
Oh, wow. Wait, are we just going to see the normal heads-up play regardless?
Potentially. And now... Oh, and he has the Big Red now off the...
Big Red after the discard of the Master Plan.
This
wow.
is huge, yeah, and now this is combo. Now, granted, he does have to clear some space because that Phoenix is occupying his extra monster zone. It's not too difficult, but the nice thing is he can actually take, like, the Quick Fix and the Phoenix to make a Unicorn, shuffle back the Resort, and then that way he can trigger his Master Plan if he sends it to the graveyard again. But this, wow, he's actually getting everything online. Blair with all those disruptions, and yet here we go.
It was what? It was a Cybernetic Overflow. It was a
For 2.
Dingirsu.
Cybernetic Overflow for 2, by
yep.
the way.
Dingirsu. And Masquerena, and it's amounted to not enough to stop SPYRAL.
Yeah.
So Nightmare Unicorn, I think tucking back Resort there.
Yep.
And unfortunately for Blair, points down.
Yes, and so now he's used that rescue that he searched off Master Plan initially to resurrect itself. The fact that it's just self-replacing is ridiculous. We're going to go for a Barricade Board Blocker here.
Love it. Sending an Assault from the hand.
And that's good because that probably means the last card in Kamal's hand. Well, not necessarily. He could just summon whatever he adds off of this, off of these cards here. So it looks like he's going to go for both an Agent.
Oh, Drone is so good here.
It is. He's going to activate the Resort and then get the Drone. And the reason Drone is so good in this position is because Blair has like 2 cards in hand, and Kamal essentially gets to blank whatever the top card of Blair's deck is into the worst possible thing.
So we're going to go into Appaloosa here for 2. We've seen this a lot this weekend, SPYRAL just going into Appaloosa for 2 because it's 2 negates, insulates against hand traps, and assures that the remainder of the plays are going to be available.
Yep, so banishing of Assault. Here comes the Drone. Blair is going to kindly hand over the top 3 of his deck.
Kamal says that card in your hand better be really good.
And
unfortunately, we know it's not. It's a Galaxy Soldier.
Yep, and so is the Agent.
An Orchestrated Return. I do not think it is likely that's going to have any targets.
So Agent gets summoned. Now we have material for double Helix, and that will essentially be able to get us to not only our Sleeper, but also our Last Resort as well.
Priz Appaloosa? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And so there's double Helix.
Double Helix kind of looking like LP here.
Going to resolve that effect. Again, we should be revealing the top card, but we already know what it is. So players, just to speed up time, just don't worry about it. We're going to go ahead and grab Master Plan, which then grabs another copy of Resort, or excuse me, Rescue.
And since we have the Quick Fix in the graveyard, we can go ahead and discard the copy of Rescue in order to bring back the Quick Fix.
Yep.
Oh, I have not missed this.
We've seen this song and dance before. Just taking a quick check of the graveyard of anything else that Blair might have. Question is, what is he going to get off of this? He could get Last Resort. He could get another Big Red.
Do we have enough searches remaining to find both Sleeper and Last Resort?
He doesn't have one for Sleeper yet.
Have we used the Resort already after resetting from 9?
Yes, because he added the Drone. Going for the Utility Wire.
We saw this little walking around LCQs yesterday. Utility Wire is one of those cards that if you get 4 or 5 activations of a Master Plan in a turn, can accidentally win you games. It can also accidentally lose you games as you brick into it, but sometimes you draw all your dangers and don't have to worry about things like that.
It's nice. It's just a one-up. You can search it via Quick Fix when you need it. It's also, I love how the card works because the fact that it puts the card back on top of your opponent's deck. So not only do you essentially set them back a turn depending on what the card is, but you also get to stack for making sure your double Helix or any of your Spiral cards resolve their effects. I just love the design of that card all around.
All right, Trigate time. We have the God board. Through all that disruption, huh?
This is the first time we've seen Trigate, actually, all weekend on the feature match, I believe.
All right, Double Helix comes back, and of course now you can go Link Haribo into Gardna, which
is,
has the correct arrows.
That's secure
to
Gardna,
turn
isn't
on.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trigate.
And Blair is just scooping it up there. So secure Gardna actually coming in quite clutch because it was able to give Kamal the last arrow necessary to be able to fully just establish the Trigate lock. Nice little handshake from the players. Gotta like that. And here we go, game 2.
I mean, these two knew at some point they would be playing each other, and they would probably have to get the feature at that time.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. When we walked over to get the feature, they were both just waiting because they had a feeling they were going to be called for the feature match. So
Blair has elected to go first again.
All right, so Scrap Recycler.
Ooh, is this on the scrap stuff too?
I mean, it's still Orcust to a degree, right? And so it's a starter. So, get your play started.
Oh, not just Scrap Recycler. I'm asking about Wyvern.
Ooh, I mean, I assume if you're playing the scraps, like specifically like Recycler, like why wouldn't you?
It's just for Wyvern, it's because you have to play a Golem.
Right. I mean, it's just one card you have to play. But I mean, again, it just allows you to just go second even better than you already can because Wyvern is just so destructive.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like Blair's just going to be doing a bit of a normal Orcust combo here. It'd be funny if you were just joining and didn't realize that he was playing Cyber Dragon last round. You would just think, oh, Blair's playing Orcust. Nope.
No, there's a lot of nonsense in this list as well.
I also think it's silly that Nashter can resurrect Dingirsu.
I think that's hilarious. I think that's great. All right, let's go get the Babel.
Fun interaction. But, yeah, this is just your traditional bread and butter Orcust combo. This is what you guys have come to expect. If you guys haven't already seen it, essentially instead of sending Harp Horror, now you just send Nightmare. Nightmare to send Wand. You bring back the Nightmare by banishing the Wand, and it's literally the exact same combo. You get your Babel. You're going to probably just end on Masquerade. If you have literally any extender.
Oh, we get to reattach Orcust Brass Bombard.
Oh, the best card.
Incredible. Is that the winner of Pro Play Tour Dallas?
Yeah, it was. So here we go. Masquerade setup.
Masquerade pass.
And is that all he's going to do?
Yeah, well. Relying on the field spell a lot here. In standby, of course, we're going to activate the effect of Orcust Nightmare to send a copy of Symbol Skeleton to the graveyard.
Yeah, this is not as good as his first setup because having that overflow was really nice. But, I mean, it's fine. Kamal having a Scrap Recycler of his own, and I think this is one of the things that not a lot of people are expecting with SPYRAL.
So I don't dislike this opening board from Blair, but what is Cyber Dragon getting you? I can't help but think that if you were on a more pure Orcust list, you could be ending on more disruptions, more interaction with your opponent. If you're electing to go first and playing all of these Cyber Dragon cards, I mean, why?
So we're going to see a Mecha Phantombeast Lion get sent off the Scrap Recycler that's going to generate a token, and we're just going to immediately go into the Scrap Wyvern, and we see Blair immediately using the effect of his Symbol Skeleton targeting Dingirsu, but Kamal has the Called by the Grave. Wow.
Yikes.
This is very bad for Blair. This could honestly just be game over right here, depending on the composition of Kamal's hand.
He's thinking real quick and says, okay.
All right, so here comes the effect. So we're going to go ahead and summon.
Here comes the Golem.
Yep.
And then we'll get the effect of Scrap Wyvern, enabling him to destroy a card. The possibilities are endless, but I think Masquerena is a pretty good hit with no other monsters on the field.
So there we go. Oh, but Blair
no.
has a Nibiru. That's the 5th summon. Okay. Oof. So that changes things a lot.
Well, okay. There's the rock.
There was the rock.
What happened to the rock?
Oh, that's right. He is under the Orcust restriction.
Oh, no. He activated Harp this
yes.
Or he activated
the Symbol Skeleton
this turn
yeah.
and Symbol Skeleton. Oh, no. It's a light monster.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. So that could have just cost him the game.
Well, spoiling that in his opener, I think Kamal feels completely fine with the remainder of the
Kamal
turn.
is terraforming Monster Reborn. This is over. This is 100, unless I don't know what else Blair could have, but this is.
I mean, it's got to be something amazing. You can just go into Boral Sword and kill him out of nowhere here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Kamal just going into the Appaloosa just
Let's
to
play safe and go into Appaloosa. We'll do the full combo. No reason not to. We've got 20 minutes remaining and we're up a game.
Yeah, but no, now this just ensures that Blair, the only thing that could actually do anything at this point is impermanence, and even then, that Blair would have said it, right? You're not going to keep an impermanence in your hand going first.
Yeah.
So here we go. Now we're just going to start going off with the Spiral shenanigans. I believe he fired off Terraforming, and there's the Resort. God, he has Monster Reborn, too.
This is true. This is the upside of playing a deck like Spiral with like 15 one-ofs in it. A couple of the cards in your hands are going to be one-ofs.
Yeah. So unfortunate for Blair.
Yeah, it's rough. Orcust restrictions and Nibiru in the same hand is a very frustrating nombo, and I mean, I can't help but think, oh, if he just didn't have the Called by the Grave, it might have turned out differently. But we saw that game play out previously, and Kamal looked completely dominant in that one as well.
Oh, but it's also just unfortunate, too, because, like, Nibiru plus Orcust Monster and Grave is sometimes a really potent combination if you do it correctly, because then you're able to essentially keep your Nibiru while also tributing everything off of the board.
Yeah, you have to Nibiru first.
Correct, yeah.
Hey, we do get to trigger the effect of this Hurts in Graveyard.
Yeah, but, I mean, is that going to matter at this point?
Nope. What if you negated it with Appaloosa? How much of a flex would that be?
I think that would pretty much just, that would be like the flex of the century. And
back
Scrap
the
Golem is
Golem.
also one of those old cards that I also believe is not a hard once per
It's
turn.
not a hard once per turn.
And Scrap Recycler also is not as well. So we can go ahead.
Similarly true.
This is just, oh my god.
The like 3 Scrap Recycler activations this game have been absolutely back-breaking.
Yes, and now here we go, using the Rescue to bring back the Quick Fix. Quick Fix can get the Big Red. Big Red can resurrect the Drone. Then you have double Helix access. You're doing all this under Appaloosa, so Blair pretty much has no out to this. And Blair's still playing it out, though. I mean,
You know, shouts out to him. Maybe a Gizmek in the hand gets him out of the specials off of the Spiral monsters. I'm really trying to write checks for Blair that I don't think he can cash.
so Kamal arranging the top 3.
All right, here comes Dubs.
Unless Blair's just trying to enjoy his time in the feature match, which I don't think he is, and it's an overload on top. That's just so unfortunate.
Hi, Mom.
I'm trying to just brainstorm possibilities of what he could possibly have. I think he has Emergency, Nibiru, and that's
Yeah,
it.
and
Blair
there's
sees
the
the writing on the wall, yeah, and there's nothing else he can do. Wow, I mean, Kamal put on a clinic.
I will say we've seen a significant amount of Spiral today. The first couple matches made me think, you know, it's a good deck for sure. It doesn't seem that much stronger than anything else in the meta. That looked unbeatable.
Yeah.
That looked unbeatable.
That performance, I think, is going to show why there's so much Spiral at the top tables at the current moment. Again, things can shift. We don't know. And the nice thing is, at least some of the Spirals will be beating each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
But like 3 huge disruptions, all different ones. One was multiple targeted destruction. One was a send, and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and it was just able to play through it. And you have to think, like, that's just going second. Going first,
Yes.
it makes scarier boards than that.
It hates to do that, and it did it with ease. I
Wow.
mean, just fantastic.
I
And
mean,
of course, piloted by one of the best players.
Of course, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you got to give credit to the players as well. And Blair Hunter is not like a free win by any
he's
stretch of the imagination.
fantastic.
Yeah, he's wonderful. It's just it seemed like he did everything correctly, apart from the Nibiru. That was a bit of a misstep. But aside from that, I mean, Kamal is looking pretty solid right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
A player to watch.
I'm not sure what
100%.
their records were. They might have been X1s, but I'd have to double check.
X1 is the absolute floor of what they could have been. They were table, 6?
5 or 6, I believe. But in any case, that's going to go ahead and wrap things up. We might see if we can get Kamal for an interview if he wants, just so we can talk about the deck for a little bit. We'll be right back.
Hello, guys.
All right, welcome back to Round 6 of the Pro Play Tour Invitational here in Orlando, Florida. I'm here with your Round 6 winner, Mr. Kamal Kirks. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Good.
Yourself?
Doing well. So how'd you feel about that match? That was a pretty clean 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Like, the Spiral deck is pretty overpowering, especially going second.
Sure.
So, like, with Blair's Cyber Dragon tactic, him going first, if he doesn't open too well, he will just get blown out, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you even saw like his opening board was he had 3 layers of disruption in the Dingirsu, and he had the Masquerena as well as the Overflow, and it seemed like you just played through it like nothing.
True. I just had enough extenders to play through, to be honest.
You had the 4 dangers, and you drew into a resort at some point, else you opened it.
I drew Terra. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you drew Terra. That was right. I mean, how you feeling about the deck so far overall?
I think it's the best deck, to be honest. I
What-
think we can do extremely well today.
Was that your first thought going into this? Like, I'm gonna play Spiral, or did you consider other decks as well?
I thought about actually the Cyber Dragon Orcust deck, to be honest.
Really?
The same
Okay.
deck as Blair. I was even talking to him earlier this week. But then I started just testing more with the Spiral deck. I got all the cards in time, and then the deck is just insane. So
Sure.
why not?
And what are you most worried about? Like, is there like a certain player you're looking out for? Is there like, do you not want to play the mirror match? Like, what are you fearing the most so far?
It's not the player. Actually, it could be the player if they know like how to play the Spiral deck. But it's really just a Spiral deck because the deck it can do pretty much anything, and it's super overpowering.
Sure.
Especially with Magician Souls being a plus like 5, I guess.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, especially with Rescue. The deck can do so much, and the ban list hindered all the other overpowering decks.
Right.
So it can just take the spot.
It's good. And so were you guys X1?
Yeah, we're just both X1.
Okay.
I lost to Cody Angeloff, actually,
Oh,
playing
okay.
the Spiral Mirror. So.
Yeah, and he's playing Extravagant Spiral, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. What do you think about that variant versus the Danger list that you're playing? Well, and you're playing Scraps, too. So.
Yeah, I think Scrap is, like, very overpowering, and I don't want to play Powder Extravagance to conflict with Scrap, with the whole banishing. And also, Extravagance conflicts with Magician Souls for the draw.
It does, yes.
So I'm not a big fan of Powder Extravagance. I don't want to, play multiple copies in my extra deck just for me not to get punished upon a card.
Sure, of course. All right, well, Kamal, thank you so much for your insight. Sure, the audience appreciates it. Guys, we will be back probably about like 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll probably run one of the old feature matches for you guys to watch in the meantime, but maybe grab a snack, hit up the bathroom. We'll be back as soon as we can.
See ya.